So the first question that people usually want to ask me is, what is the science of life? What do you even mean by that? And to me, the basic starting point for the science of life is, of course, Ayurveda, right? Ayurveda, the natural medicine of India, or what most people think of as the natural medicine of India, really translates from Sanskrit as the science of life or living. So what does that mean? That means medicine, the way we describe it in the ancient South Asian texts, is not about what you put inside your body to fix things going wrong. Or I should say, not just that, but really it is about how you live every single day, what you do. So your actions, your eating patterns, your behavior, your self-care, etc., to make sure that your mind-body is always aligned. Your mind-body, as opposed to your mind and your body, which is a very Western connotation of, how health might work: emotional health, mental health, physical health. In Ayurveda, we don't separate the two. It's one and the same. I always like to use the metaphor of a coin. The mind and the body are just like the heads and the tails of a single coin. So if I took that coin and split it into two, it would split into two coins, but each of those two pieces would still have a heads and a tails. So how do you separate the two? You can't, right? And this ties into a lot of our ancient Indian philosophy, practices, beliefs. There is a good and a bad. There is a light and a dark. There is a heads and a tails. And one side is only given meaning to based upon the definition of the other. Or should I say, one side can only have definition if the other exists. So without good, there is no evil, and vice versa. Without light, darkness has no meaning, and vice versa, right? So similarly with mind-body. Without mind, there is no body, and without body, there is no mind, okay? And this is your basic starting point for Ayurveda, or what we translate into English as the science of life. Okay, so this is what I mean by the science of life, and it's my starting point for the science of life and understanding pretty much everything that we do every day of our lives. Two sort of myths about Ayurveda that I want to debunk. First and foremost, Ayurveda is not a beauty regimen. It is not a beauty regimen. Let me say that one more time. It is not a beauty regimen, okay? I started practicing Ayurveda in California several years ago. In fact, what I should probably say is I stopped practicing it in California several years ago before I moved to Hong Kong. I moved to Hong Kong in 2009, so it would have been right around just before that I stopped actually practicing it in California in order to prepare for my move to Hong Kong. But the reason I mention that is not so much about myself, but at the time, Ayurveda was very much thought of as a spa treatment, thought of as beauty regimen. This would frustrate me a lot, and one of the reasons was because I myself was working with health spas. I was working with beauty spas, and certainly my philosophy, my personal philosophy was there are nuggets of goodness that you can get from Ayurveda that could certainly be incorporated into a body care treatment at a health spa, because we do so much body work in Ayurveda, right? But what that did was engender this idea, or encourage this idea, I should say, that it can be reduced to a spa treatment, which certainly isn't the case, and was a sore point. It became a sore point for me quite early on, quite quickly, and still is, right? So Ayurveda is not a beauty treatment. There are so many brands today, which didn't exist in that time, that are Ayurvedic beauty brands. Okay, and beauty is all about skin care and hair care and so on and so forth. What we are doing with Ayurvedic detoxification is we are cleansing the 7 tissue layers, layer by layer. Our reason is to basically detoxify the tissues, okay? Bring the junk out, if you will, in simple words. And if you can bring the junk out, then it actually cleans and strengthens your tissue layers. The uppermost tissue layer relates to the skin, okay? So naturally, if you're going to cleanse and detox, your skin and your hair and your nails are going to look great. But once again, that's not what it is all about. An Ayurvedic treatment in itself, Ayurvedic medicine in itself, cannot be and should not be reduced to that of a beauty regimen, okay? That's not what it is about. My dog snorting in the background. Okay, the other myth, very importantly, that I would like to debunk today in this video is that Ayurveda is certainly equal to natural, okay? Natural foods, natural applications, natural everything. But natural is not equal to Ayurveda, okay? So just because there is a plant outside and I am using it to eat or prepare food or make a skin application or what have you, okay, doesn't mean that its purpose or its integrity or the way it's being used is Ayurvedic, or according to Ayurvedic principles, I should say, right? So natural is not equal to Ayurveda. Ayurveda is certainly equal to natural because we don't use chemicals in Ayurveda, right? But when we take these natural elements, these natural ingredients, we are combining them perhaps in certain proportions, in certain ways, with certain recipes and so forth, to create something that actually has a healing effect on the mind-body, through the doshas or through how do you explain the doshas in English? The mind-body types, okay, the mind-body humors, if you will. Okay, so Ayurveda is equal to natural, but natural is not equal to Ayurveda. These are the 2 myths that I wanted to debunk about the science of life as I explain further what the science of life actually is. All right, till next time, thank you.